Mr. President, I come to the floor today to honor an extraordinary public servant. It's my longtime legislative director, Bryn Stewart. He's going to be leaving the Senate after a 20-year career of working on behalf of the people of Wyoming. He served in this great institution under two different U.S. senators from Wyoming. He and his family have deep roots within our state, and he is a third-generation Wyomingite. Bryn was born and raised in Sheridan, Wyoming. His father, Clyde, was a high school business teacher who also coached basketball and the golf team. His mother, Jerry, worked at the Sheridan Press, our local newspaper. Both of his parents encouraged him to work hard, to always be respectful, and most importantly, to be himself. Not to be what others expected him to be. Well, he has exceeded all expectations, Mr. President, I will tell you. Family means everything to Bryn. He's the fifth oldest of 7 children. And while it's Bryn's career that we're here to pay tribute to today in terms of his work in the Senate, his older sister, Kendall, was the first Stewart sibling to work in the United States Senate. She worked for Wyoming Senator Malcolm Wallop. She then came to work in my own office in Sheridan, Wyoming, in Bryn's hometown. It's also important to point out that Bryn's brother Dow also worked in the U.S. Senate. What a testament to Bryn's parents that so many of their children were committed to public service. Bryn took a very different route to the U.S. Senate than his siblings. After graduating from the University of Wyoming with a finance degree, Bryn went on to earn his law degree from the College of Law at the university in 1985. Turns out that Bryn wasn't the only standout from his class that year at the University of Wyoming School of Law. My fellow U.S. Senator from Wyoming, Cynthia Lummis, was Bryn's classmate in the law school, and the two of them remain great friends to today. After passing the Wyoming State Bar, Bryn has maintained his membership in the Wyoming Bar for 36 years. He moved to Gillette, Wyoming, and he started his career there as legal advisor to the Campbell County Sheriff and Deputy County Attorney. Now, I would point out that Campbell County and Gillette is the town where Mike Enzi, my former colleague, had been a representative in the legislature as well as the mayor. And Mike Enzi also had graduated, as has Bryn, from Sheridan High School. Well, 10 years later, Bryn became the Director of Administrative Services for the Campbell County Board of Commissioners. In that role, Bryn was able to balance the budget during a major economic downturn without laying off any employees. This was not an easy achievement. Now, after more than 16 years of serving the people of Campbell County, Bryn made the move to Washington, D.C. He came to D.C. to work for my predecessor, Senator Craig Thomas, as his tax and trade counsel. Now, the person who gets full credit for convincing Bryn to come work for the U.S. Senate wasn't Senator Thomas, it wasn't me. It's my incredible wife, Bobby Brown Barrasso, who encouraged Bryn to take the job and move across the country. Bryn fondly tells the story of how my wife, Bobby, who was then the state director of Senator Thomas at the time, in 2001, reached out to Bryn about the opportunity that really did change the course of his life and his career. Now, she knew that he would be a perfect fit for the job, and we're all very grateful to Bobby in so many ways, but most certainly for recognizing Bryn's talent and talking him into taking a leap of faith. Although it turns out a cross-country move wouldn't be the biggest shock of the journey for Bryn. I mean, it's a long way from Wyoming to Washington. But he was officially offered the job the Friday before the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. Many people would have reconsidered moving to Washington, D.C. after such the largest terrorist attack in our country history. But Bryn didn't think twice. In fact, it only strengthened his resolve and his commitment to serve the nation and the people of Wyoming. Turns out he would need that resolve because during his first week in the D.C. office, the anthrax attacks occurred against our nation, against our Capitol, and against the Senate office building. Anonymous letters laced with deadly anthrax arrived in congressional offices, and Bryn, like so many staffers on the Hill, were displaced for months into temporary quarters. Despite the chaos and the rocky start, Bryn was not deterred, and he immediately jumped into his legislative role at full speed. For his first 2.5 years, Bryn served as counsel for Senator Thomas. He worked on numerous tax and trade bills. Most notably, he helped draft and pass legislation providing critical relief to drought-stricken livestock producers in Wyoming and across the country. Senator Thomas was so impressed with Bryn's work that he promoted him to be his legislative director in 2004. As you know, Mr. President, legislative directors have a very big job and lots of responsibility. They guide the entire policy staff in developing and implementing the senator's legislative agenda. As a result, legislative directors must be up to speed on all of the issues. Bryn recalls one story in particular from his early days as legislative director directly on this point. During the 2005 energy bill debate, Senator Thomas was selected to serve on the conference committee. A week into the committee meetings, Senator Thomas, then energy legislative assistant, was diagnosed with cancer. Never one to back down to a challenge, Bryn immediately stepped in. He quickly took over the reins, and he helped Senator Thomas successfully lead the fight for Wyoming coal and other important energy resources. Bryn recounts this experience as one of the highlights of his legislative career. Always ready to help, always ready to act. In 2007, when Wyoming and the Senate tragically lost Senator Craig Thomas to cancer, Bryn was central in supporting our entire staff, many of whom are on the floor today, through an extremely difficult and emotional time. And when I was selected to fill Senator Thomas's seat, I asked Bryn to stay on as my legislative director. It is a decision that I have never regretted. For more than 14 years, I've been incredibly fortunate to have his advice and his counsel. We've worked together on critical issues that will have a lasting and positive impact on Wyoming for decades to come. Now, this includes his great work in helping to pass the Craig Thomas Snake Headwaters Legacy Act, which was signed into law in 2009. Bryn was also instrumental in securing the return of Wyoming's abandoned mine land funds to our state, which is why I've always referred to him as our $100 million man. Now, these are just a few examples of the work Bryn is most proud of in his 20-year Senate career. Bryn's dependability and knowledge made him an indispensable member of my team. His work ethic and his dedication are legendary. He stays late, he works weekends, and he does whatever it takes to get the job done. We often joke in the office that Bryn is the first one in the ledge shop and the last one to leave. Doesn't matter if it's a blizzard outside or a global pandemic. Bryn is infamous for not letting anything keep him from doing the work in the Senate for the benefit of the people of Wyoming. Well, I've talked a lot about Bryn's professional accomplishment. I also want to highlight the ways that he continues to give back to the community and give back to others. He makes it his mission to live his life with a purpose. It's one of the reasons his priority is giving back to the community as much as he can. One of his biggest passions is supporting organizations focused on providing food and shelter to those in need. He serves as a member of the Salvation Army Board in his local community. He served in organizations that built homeless shelters, operate food pantries, and run low-income energy assistance programs. He's also a member of the Northern Wyoming Community College Advisory Board in Gillette that focuses on providing high-quality post-secondary education to the people in Campbell County and around Wyoming. Bryn's departure from the Senate leaves very big shoes to fill. And while we're all sad to see him go, we're happy to know he's moving back to where it all started for him, his hometown, Sheridan, Wyoming. He'll be closer to family. He'll also be able to spend time camping, hiking, and biking through his beloved Bighorn Mountains. Bryn, Bobby joins me along with our entire staff, many of whom are here on the floor, the current staff, but it is the past staff, the present staff, in commending you on a remarkable career of service. We're grateful that you chose to dedicate your life to helping make Wyoming and our country a better place to live and a better place to work. It is with admiration, appreciation, and respect that I wish you every success as you embark on this new adventure. And we're not just saying that because today is your birthday. You will be truly missed. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.
Mr. President,
Senator from Ohio.
first I want to offer my congratulations to Bryn Stewart, and that was a beautiful speech about the public service that he has contributed to Wyoming and to the United States Senate.